Hey, how we doing, Titans fans? Titan Uprising, thank you for tuning in and watching. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. If you have not subscribed, please do. The subscriber count's really climbing, and I appreciate it. My goal would be to get to 500 next. About 160 right now or so, right around there. I'd love to hit 500 soon. That'd be a nice little benchmark for me. So if you guys can make it happen, please do. If you like the content and have not subscribed, it helps out a lot. Just hit the subscription button. So please do. Today's video, it's gonna be one of my longer ones. Sometimes I pump out a 30-minute video, and I think this one might end up being around 30 minutes or so. I'm gonna break down the entire AFC South. It's gonna be ranking wise, and it's gonna go along with the quarterbacks. So the ranking, how I think the division will play out, will also be the ranking of the quarterbacks, and that kind of went hand in hand because, as we all know, it's a quarterback-driven league, and you're only going to get as far as a quarterback takes you. Us being Titans fans, we know that the most, right? We've had great running games, great defenses, and Tannehill, as great as he's been in the regular season, when it gets to the postseason, it just falls apart sometimes, and we've experienced that firsthand. And it sucks. Cincinnati playoff game is the most recent one for me that really sticks. 9 sacks on the defensive side of the ball, and we still lose the game because he threw 3 picks. That sucks. It happened. It's gonna take me a while to get over that one. So hey, we'll break it down right now. This first team here we're gonna get into is the team that I think is gonna finish last in the AFC South, and I also feel like they have the worst quarterback in the AFC South, and that is the Indianapolis Colts, and that's Anthony Richardson. So Anthony Richardson here is the most athletic quarterback prospect to ever test at the combine. But guys, he's super raw, right? This guy has a cannon on his arm. He hit the ceiling in his pro day. That's crazy. And he only started 12 games in 2022, which is worrisome, right? He completed 176 of 327 attempts for a 53.8 completion percentage and 2,549 yards. He had 17 passing touchdowns with 9 interceptions. He also ran the ball 103 times for 654 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's going to be doing a lot of running, in my opinion, in his rookie year. Now, Indy, they have a good offensive line, right? That's a strength of theirs. Led by Quentin Nelson there, all-pro guard. And they have some young receivers in Pittman, Pierce, and McKenzie. I do like Josh Downs, who they drafted this year. I wanted Tennessee to grab him, and they did not. We didn't take a receiver until very late. That obviously pissed me off. But I like Josh Downs. I think he's going to move up the depth chart by the end of the year. I think he's going to keep climbing. Jonathan Taylor. Now he's coming. Jonathan Taylor's good running back. Can't deny that. But he's coming off of a surgically repaired ankle, and I don't like that. Man, I don't care who you are. Listen, we've made so many modern advancements in the medical field, right? That it's just the surgeries, we're expecting people, especially pro athletes, right, to find the best surgeon, come back healthy in 2 weeks, right, or 2 months or whatever. Guys, he's a human being. This is going to take a while. He might not, who knows when he sees the field and when he's fully healthy, or if they ease him in, that's a big deal. So I'm a little skeptical on Jonathan Taylor coming back to the way he was. Maybe it takes him a year to do that. I mean, if us as Titans fans, and I'm sure Colts fans, Jaguars fans, and Texans fans are watching this as well, because it has something to do with your teams. But us as Titans fans, the majority of us, we remember Henry coming back for the playoff game against the Bengals, and he wasn't himself. Give this guy some time. He's still going to be a good running back, but I don't think he's going to hit the field running literally this year right off the bat. Now, he might not be the same at all, right? Like I said. And then Richardson's going to need the run game to help him. But I do think, like I said earlier, he's going to be doing a lot of running himself. So I think he's going to make up a lot of the run game. And, hey, quarterbacks run, they can get hurt. It's just more contact. Never a good thing. Also, losing Campbell this year, Paris Campbell, that might hurt this team as well, losing him. And I do not like the tight ends on this team at all. I don't like Cox, and there's another guy that, like I said, I'm not super into the Colts. There's another guy in their team, and I can't think of his name right now, but I'm not big on the tight end room. I think they have the worst tight end room in the division. Now Richardson could end up being the best quarterback taken in this entire draft class, ahead of Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud and Will Levis. We don't know, but he's a project, and as a project quarterback should be ranked, the fourth best quarterback out of the four teams. He's at the bottom. And, it's not a knock on him. Like I said, Richardson can end up being the best quarterback in this division in a year or two. He has the traits. He has a rocket arm. He's fast. Like I said, he tested one of the best, the best combine for a quarterback ever. So if he puts it all together, he's inexperienced. He makes errant throws. But I have him as the fourth best in this division. Now, the next one we'll get into is the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud. In 2021 and 2022, C.J. Stroud combined to complete 575 of 830 attempts for a 69.3 completion percentage, which is pretty solid, almost 70% there. He threw for 85 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. He added 108 rushing yards, but he did prove he can run. We know he can run. He had one rushing attempt in 2020 before he was a starter, and that was a 48-yard rush for one, and it went for a touchdown. So he proved he can run there, and he did prove he can run in the college playoffs. He can run if he needs to. So it's not a knock on him. He just didn't need to. I still wanted Tennessee to take this guy. I really did. I was big on C.J. Stroud, even though he did not do good on the test. And I am a big believer in the S2 test. I really am. Guys that we've seen do well, like Burrow, Allen, they've done well. I'm going to be curious to see how C.J. Stroud does in the future. If he does not do good and ends up being a bust, then I'm going to be even more of a firm believer in that S2 test. That was something that worried me if Tennessee were to grab him, to be honest with you. But I still want Tennessee to take him. Now, I think Houston, they'll be much improved this year, but they're a young team with new pieces and a new head coach in DeMeco Ryans. So they're young, they're new, they got to gel together still. Houston had a good draft and a good offseason, but who knows, like I said earlier, if they're going to gel. The offensive line should be a lot better with Tunzel and Shaq Mason. At wide receiver, they have Nico Collins, John Mechie, and Robert Woods. Those are expected to be their top three. Now, us as Tennessee fans, we remember Robert Woods last year could not get open, could not separate, was not the receiver that he was with the Rams. He was coming off an injury as well. And like I said earlier with the Colts, when I was talking about Jonathan Taylor, it takes guys sometimes a little while to get back from an injury. So maybe Woods does a lot better this year because he's a year removed from that ACL tear he had. But I did not like what I saw from Woods last year. I feel like he lost a step and he could not separate, and he was never a fast guy to begin with. Now, they also drafted Xavier Hutchinson and Tank Dell. Now, Tank Dell is interesting to me. He's very explosive, but he's 5'8". So this guy isn't going to go up and make a contested catch over a corner. But, if you hit him on a slant or a deep route, right, he can do some damage. So I'll be interested to see how Tank ends up panning out and how the Colts use him. How the Texans use him. Dalton Schultz, that's a good addition in the tight end room coming over from Dallas. That's a big one. I think that was a good pickup by Houston. Like I said, I think Houston had a very good offseason and they had a good draft. Dameon Pierce, I think he's only going to get better in year two. And I do think Houston has the second best running back in the division. And the reason I'm saying that is because of a banged up Taylor, because Taylor's coming off the surgery. So I do think they have currently the second best running back group in the division because of Taylor being injured, like I said. Now, Houston surrounded the young quarterback in Stroud here with weapons, but he's still a rookie, and I can't put a rookie ahead of vets. I could not put Anthony Richardson or C.J. Stroud ahead of Tannehill or Trevor Lawrence. Just can't do it. They're rookies. They haven't proven anything. I did put C.J. Stroud ahead of Richardson because he's proven more in college, and I think he's going to have a little bit of a better team around him because of what Houston's done. I know Houston did not, right? They're one of the bottom of the barrel teams, but I think they're going to be a little more competitive this year. They're not picking top 5 this year. They're next year in the draft, guys. They're really not. They're going to be more competitive. I think they nailed the draft this year. The future's bright for them as long as C.J. Stroud pans out. Anthony Richardson, the Colts are only going to go as far as he takes them. If he ends up being a bust, then the Colts are going to start over again, and it seems like they can't get out of that quarterback purgatory hell that they're in right now. We've been there too, guys. It's not fun, but they had Manning and Luck, so I don't feel so bad for them. They can go through that for a little while longer. Now Houston, like I said, they have a good draft, but I had Stroud as the number 3 quarterback in the division, and he is ahead of Anthony Richardson. Now we'll get into the second best quarterback in the division, and I think it's, to be honest with you, man, it's tough. I think this might be the second best team in the division, and this hurts me to say as a Titans fan. Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans. I think this could change, and I'll get into this a little later if we add somebody, but we'll get into this. So obviously I'm a Titans fan. I'll tell you right now, I think Tannehill is capped out, and we have already seen the best in him. He is still the second best quarterback in the division, like I said, because of the young guns, and I do think this is last year as a Tennessee Titan. Last year, he completed 212 of 325 attempts for a 65.2 completion percentage and threw for 2,536 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. He added 98 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. He only played in 12 games due to injury, and the offense was not the same when he went down. I mean, we threw Malik in there, we threw Josh Downs in there, it just did not matter. This offense was crap. We sucked. The offense couldn't move the ball, could not score points. Defense got gassed. Defense had injuries. This was just an absolute nightmare on the offensive side of the ball. And it was just absolutely horrendous to watch sometimes. It sucked. Now, Tannehill, he's a serviceable quarterback, and he can get a team to the playoffs. We all know that. He just can't carry a team to the playoffs. Like I said, with the Cincinnati Bengals in the year before, when it came to the Baltimore Ravens, and the year before that, when it came to the AFC Championship game when we lost to Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes was and is that quarterback that can put the team on his back and carry him. We don't have that in Ryan Tannehill. It sucks because he's done good by us. He really has. But the team, the Titans, do not have, and this is huge, huge. We do not have Todd Downing as the offensive coordinator anymore. I can't stress that enough, how big of a deal that really is, that he is not calling plays for the Tennessee Titans. That in itself is just, it's key. Tim Kelly's here. He's got to do better because I don't think there's a worse coordinator that I've ever seen than Todd Downing. And if there is, please comment down below and tell me who it is, because I don't believe there's one worse than Todd Downing. Why he is on the New York Jets staff is baffling to me. I do not know why anybody would want him on their staff. I think he should be high school coach, personally. Maybe peewees, midgets. I don't know. Don't know why he's in the NFL. He sucked. Should have fired him when he got pulled over for drunk driving, which was right. That tells you who he is right there. Beat the Packers and he thinks he's on top of the world because, you know, he called a good game, which who knows how much of that was actually Tim Kelly or not. But I can go off on that guy all day. I can't stand him. Now the offense, like I said, Downing was awful for the offense. Now the Titans have Burks and Chig coming back, and I think they're poised for big year 2 leaps. I think their sophomore seasons here are going to be huge. The offensive line last year, in my opinion, was the worst in the NFL. Dennis Daly, why he was put out there, I just can't understand. You know, we were all banged up. Lost Ben Jones, lost Taylor Lewan. Man, it was a really bad offensive line last year. That's why Tannehill got hurt. Malik Willis was scrambling around for his life. Horrible offensive line. Now the offensive line has been very much improved. We have Skoronski now, which is our first pick this year. Andre Dillard, and we have Daniel Brunskill as well. Those guys are going to be solid additions. They're going to be starters on this offensive line. This offensive line is going to be better. Now, also adding a healthy Kyle Phillips back. That's like drafting a guy again, because we didn't really get him last year. And when he was on the field, like he did week 1 against the Giants, this guy can be special. He can be a nice slot receiver. We also added Chris Moore, and he's going to be a vet. Came over from Houston. He had his best year with Houston last year, and that should help the receiving core a lot. But in my opinion, as of right now, this receiving core is the worst in the NFL, and it's definitely the worst in the division. But, and as I kind of hinted towards this earlier, that could very much change with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins. Tennessee has been, and if you've seen articles recently, the most aggressive pursuer for DeAndre Hopkins, and they need to be. They're looking at this wide receiver core, and they're like, "Holy crap! This receiving core is not what it should be." We should have AJ Brown on this team, but we do not. It's unfortunate. Thank you, J-Rob. But if we can get DeAndre Hopkins for a couple of years, have him and Burks running, draft somebody next year, we're only going to be improving. And a free agent next year too, who knows what's coming through or who's coming through. We're going to have $120 million in cap. This is key to the success that we're going to have this year and the success we're going to have in the next upcoming years. We need DeAndre Hopkins to sign with this team, and he has a relationship with Tim Kelly. He likes Mike Vrabel. He has a relationship with Derrick Henry. Not sure what he feels about the quarterback position because I'm really not. But hey, I am saying this. I'd rather play with Tannehill than Mac Jones because there's rumors going around that Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft are not getting along. Tell me if you're Hopkins, you want to go there and say, hey, we're possibly going to be the fourth worst team in the division and not make the playoffs, or come to Tennessee, which is in a weaker division. And whether you're a Jags fan, Titans fan, Colts fan, or Texans fan, you're going to know that, hey, this division is not good. You can't lie to anybody about it. Might be your favorite team, right? But is in this division, but you can't lie about it. This division is not good. I mean, Jacksonville won with a losing record. This team's not good. Now, if Hopkins comes, this whole thing changes, like I said. I can see I think we're going to be 1-2 with Jacksonville. I can see it flipping around. I can see us winning the division. I can see Jackson winning the division. We'll get into them here in a little bit. But this could really sway with the decision that DeAndre Hopkins makes. And then, hey, we cannot forget the future Hall of Fame running back, Derrick Henry. And he is running behind a new offensive line and an improved offensive line. Man, that is scary for the rest of the league. And we all know that Derrick Henry can carry an offense, and he has in the past. And last year, this line was so bad. He was getting hit in the legs before he ever got the handoff. I mean, this line was horrible, absolutely horrible. Just a better line in general, which is going to be this year a better line. Henry, and I've been saying this for a while, I think he's going to hit 1,800 yards, at least. I think he's going to wreak havoc this year. So we had a better offensive line with Derrick Henry behind it. That's enough right there, in my opinion, to at least make this team the second best in the division. And like I said, I'm tying quarterback with overall division rankings, because they go hand in hand so much. And then also Tennessee added the electric weapon to complement Derrick Henry, and that is Tyjae Spears. And he's going to make this running game even better than it is. And it's going to give Tannehill, those 8-man boxes and the play action. And if you have Hopkins there too, man, if Hopkins gets signed, I'm making a long video on that. I'm going to be so pumped for that. Hey, so like I said, now we have the Colts with Anthony Richardson. I think will be the fourth best, or the bottom of the barrel, And then we're going to have C.J. Stroud and the Texans at 3. The Ryan Tannehill-led Titans at 2. And then we're going to get into who I think will end up winning the division. Unfortunately, it sucks saying as a Titans fan, but I just think they're a better team right now. Like I said, if Hopkins comes, this changes the story a little bit. And I do think Tennessee can win the division without Hopkins too. It's tight 1-2 race, but hey, you got to go with the guys that just won the division last year and that we did not beat them. They swept us. And that is the Trevor Lawrence-led Jacksonville Jaguars, right? That they won the division last year. Where in last game of the year, they won it. When it was all on the line, we could have won it too, and they beat us. So got to give credit where credit's due, and we'll get into Trevor Lawrence here. In 2021, he completed 359 of 602 attempts for a 59.6 completion percentage with 12 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. He was sacked 32 times and posted a passer rating of 71.9 and a QBR of 39.1. Added 73 carries for 334 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was his rookie year. Now, getting into 2022, which was last year, he much improved. He completed 387 of 584 attempts for a 66.3 completion percentage, which is almost 7 points higher, with 25 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, which is a way better ratio because it's not negative like he had the year before. And he was sacked 27 times, which was also less, and posted a passer rating of 95.2, which was, that's 24 almost passer rating higher, and a QBR of 54.5, which is almost a little over 15 higher. It's a big jump. It's amazing what you can do when Doug Peterson's your head coach and you have somebody competent there. Really brought out the best in Trevor Lawrence. Now he added 62 carries for 291 yards and 5 touchdowns as well. Now his career completion is 62.9 and passer rating is 83.4. Obviously, it's a little less than what he had last year because of such a not so good rookie season. Now, obviously, like I said, he took a huge leap and that's crazy that he could do that with Doug Peterson. One more offseason with this, and these guys could be scary. Now they do have I think they have the best weapons in the division personally, with Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, and Zay Jones. That's a solid wide receiver trio. I thought they overpaid for Christian Kirk last year, but he proved me wrong. And Zay Jones was very, very, very formidable as a wide receiver last year. And then Calvin Ridley is just that X factor. Man, they got a steal there when he coming from the Atlanta Falcons when they let him go. Calvin Ridley, this guy's solid. I hate that he's on the Jaguars, to be honest with you. It's going to be a tough guy to stop. That's going to be a key for them, really is. And then Evan Ingram, he's a great tight end, does not get the recognition that he should at all. I think he's, top 10 tight end. Like I say, he's not talked about like that, but I think he is. And then Travis Etienne, he's a great running back. He can catch the ball, which adds to his dual threat ability. The offensive line should be just about the same. It's a little less because they lost Taylor, right? They lost him to the Chiefs, but they gained Brandon Sheriff, and then they drafted Harrison too with their first round pick. So, they added some, but they lost their star left tackle. So the offensive line, in my opinion, should be right around the same. Unless left tackle becomes a swinging door for them, it's going to go down, but I don't see that happening. And the Jaguars, like I said, they're the best team in the division, and they're the best offense until proven otherwise. Maybe they were a flash in the pan like they were a few years ago when they went to AFC Championship game. It's possible, but I don't think so. And that's my breakdown, guys, for the AFC South. Like I said, I think we got the Colts at 4th, the Texans in 3rd, the Titans at 2nd, and the Jaguars 1st. And this could very much change. It really could. Obviously, the season hasn't even been played yet, so anything can happen. I do think 1 and 2 could flip. I think I could see Tennessee winning the division, and I could see Jacksonville winning the division as well. That can really flip 1 and 2. I don't see Houston or Indy winning the division this year. I think Houston's going to be more competent and more competitive than they have been in the past. I really do believe so. I do think Indy is going to... I don't think they're going to do that well this year because I think Richardson's more of a project. I think he's going to have a bumpy rookie year, but that bumpy rookie year could end up leading to a very solid sophomore season, and he could take the league by storm. I really could. So that's my ranking, and like I said, that ranking kind of goes hand in hand with the quarterbacks because like I said, it's a quarterback-driven league, everybody, and hopefully it's a Titans guys, right? Hopefully Will Levis is the future for us, or even Malik maybe. Let's hope. And let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree with my rankings? Do you agree with what my breakdown is on the quarterbacks? Who do you think is going to win the division? If you think someone else will win the division, let me know. Who do you think it is? And give me your case why. Hey, we'll talk soon, everybody, and tighten up.